What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers Report. And if this is your first time watching the channel, make sure to subscribe right now because I'm your #1 source for all things Texas Rangers on YouTube. But also, if you want more Texas Rangers content, basically 24/7, make sure to check out the link and But also, if you want Rangers content 24/7, make sure to check out the Discord link down in the description below to just have Rangers content 24/7. So we all know we're in the middle of the MLB lockout, and it does seem like there is some hope that the lockout could get a lot of groundwork done this week, maybe even hopefully get a new CBA this week. But right now I'm going to be projecting the Rangers 2022 batting lineup with the current state of the Rangers roster. Obviously, we're still lacking a lot of talent, and that's why I'm going to be going over the batting lineup just to prove that we still need some help. I could probably do a rotation video as well, but without further ado, let's get straight into it. So batting first and playing first, I have Nate Lowe, and this makes a lot of sense to me. Some guys might argue that he's not a traditional leadoff hitter, but I think it makes perfect sense. He gets on base a lot. He doesn't have tremendous power, so that's why I don't think you'd have him in a 3 or a 4 spot, but he had a 360 on base percentage last year, so easily I think he would be your #1 hitter in the lineup. Obviously, he could get traded for Matt Olson or somebody like that, but as of right now, I have him batting first. And then second, I have Corey Seager batting second for the Texas Rangers, obviously playing shortstop. And this is, you could go with Marcus Semien, but I do think Corey Seager is the better hitter out of the two. Obviously, Corey Seager needs to stay healthy, and yes, you do have that lefty-lefty combination. However, in the long term, you get your on-base machine in Nate Lowe, and you have your better hitter in Corey Seager hitting most of the time. I think in the long run, that'll produce more runs. Even though you have that lefty-lefty combo, Corey Seager's a good hitter, so he can hit lefties or righties, so I don't think that will matter too much. Batting third and playing probably second base, depends on what happens with IKF, is Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien is easily your second best hitter in the lineup, probably has the third most power on the team, so it just makes sense that he should be batting third and getting the third most play appearances on the team. Don't really have to talk about that one too much. However, the reason why I said probably second base, because if the Rangers do trade IKF, there isn't a lot of good free agents out there to replace him. Not a lot of really good in-house candidates besides Andy Ibanez, so you could move Marcus Semien over to third, have Andy Ibanez play second, or sign a guy like Donovan Solano. But moving on to the fourth guy, playing center field, batting fourth, is Adolis Garcia, and this makes a lot of sense because usually your cleanup hitter is a guy with a lot of power, and that's Adolis Garcia. And obviously, he's not an on-base machine like Nate Lowe, and usually you have your most best hitters bat 2 and third. So hopefully you get your guys on base, and Adolis, he'll probably strike out a lot, but he'll be there and probably driving in a lot of runs as well, and playing some good center field. But I am concerned because he strikes out a lot. He doesn't walk a lot, so his on-base percentage is extremely low, but he hits the ball hard, so when he makes contact, good things should happen with men on base. Batting fifth and playing right field for the Texas Rangers, I have recently acquired Kole Calhoun. We signed him to a 1-year deal worth $5 million. I was thinking whether the Rangers should go with Willie Calhoun here or Kole Calhoun, but usually you want more power to be in the 6th slot. So and it doesn't really matter if you have a better guy with on base or a higher slugging in the 5th. And the reason why you want to hire a guy with good power in the 6th slot is because once you get down to the 7th through 9, usually those guys are the worst hitters on the team. So if you have a guy with high on base in the 6th, then those guys 7 through 9 aren't going to be able to drive them in. So I do think Willie has more power than Kole Calhoun, so that's why I put Kole Calhoun at 5th, and then batting 6th, playing left field, I have Willie Calhoun, hopefully to be able to drive whether it's Adolis or Kole Calhoun, Hopefully he can drive those players in. And this is going to be a make or break year for Willie Calhoun. Obviously, the headliner in the Yu Darvish trade, he was in the AAA for a long time, and got his chance in 2019, really broke through. That was the juice ball year, and now he's dealt with so many injuries. So this is going to be his make or break year. And I do think that with the new coaches and Tim Hires and Donnie Eckert, those could really help. But if he has a below average season, this is probably his last year on the Rangers. And then moving down to some of the below average hitters on the team, I have Andy Ibanez batting 7th and playing DH. And this guy, he could probably be a solid hitter for the team. He was one of the best Rangers hitters last year. It's just there's not a lot of track record with him. You don't know if he'll be able to keep that up. And he's way better against lefties than he is righties. So that's why I have him batting 7th, because usually you face a lot more righties than lefties. But if he is able to keep up his success from last year, I could definitely see him moving up to the 5th spot, the 6th spot, maybe even higher in the lineup. But as of right now, I have him batting 7th and playing DH. But I can definitely see him platooning with Willie Calhoun or Kole Calhoun in the season. And obviously, this is all based off the current roster. I still think we need to upgrade the lineup, and I'll get to that later. So batting 8th, playing 3rd base is going to be IKF as of right now, because I wanted Josh Jung to be the starter on opening day at 3rd base. I think he has a lot more potential than IKF. With the glove, IKF is definitely has the upper hand, but Josh Jung has the upper hand with the bat. But obviously, he has that left labrum strain, so who knows how long he's going to be out. There has been guys like Juan Soto, he had a left-right labrum strain last year. He was only out 2 weeks. Luis Urias had a left labrum or just a labrum strain. He was only out 3 weeks. So who knows? It probably differs based off the severity of the injury, but also just on the player. But as of right now, IKF makes the most logical sense because he played the 3rd base position for the Rangers in 2020. So sliding back to the position would make a lot of sense. However, don't rule out a trade. I think this is the highest. I've talked about this a lot. This is the highest his value will probably ever be in his career, since there's going to be a lot of teams that need a shortstop, 3rd baseman, 2nd baseman. He's a cheap player. He has 2 years of team control. So I still think if the right offer's there, the Rangers might pull the trigger on an IKF deal. And then we might have to sign a free agent or start Andy Ibanez or move Marcus Semien. But then batting last, even though IKF is a bad hitter, our catchers are a lot worse. So I have Jonah Heim over Jose Trevino. Both are really good defensive catchers, but I think Jonah Heim has the upside when it comes to the hitting. He's also younger, and it takes more time to develop switch hitting catchers. So that's why I went with Jonah Heim at the number 9 spot. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But also just reviewing this lineup real quick, we obviously want Josh Jung back because that's a big blow to the Rangers lineup. I think our 1 through 3 is really solid with the likes of Nate Lowe, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien. Obviously, we traded for Nate Lowe last year, and we spent a lot of money on Corey Seager and Simeon. However, I still think we need help in the outfield because you're unsure about Calhoun. You're unsure. That's Willie Calhoun, but you're also going to be unsure about Kole Calhoun. You're unsure about Adolis. Most likely, the Rangers only sign one more guy. I'd be down for Kyle Schwarber. I'm not so interested in Seiya Suzuki because even though he's going to be the cheaper out of like Schwarber or Bryant, there's still a lot of risk involved, and he's still going to command probably like $10 million a year for 4 years. So I'd be interested in Schwarber, Jorge Soler, Tommy Pham. Those guys would definitely improve the lineup in my opinion. And you guys might be thinking, Jorge Soler, Tommy Pham, those guys had bad years. I think if you look at the advanced numbers, they had bad years, but I think they're prime candidates for bounce back seasons on cheap deals because the advanced stats tell a different story. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What position, what players should the Rangers target after the lockout is over to improve their squad? If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.